Hi, it's me Harakuma, and for today's video I'll explain to you guys how does it feel to be a furry in the Philippines and what is my opinion in regards to this. Just a short explanation of the Philippines. It is one of the tropical countries and has tons of historical landmarks that I highly urge you guys to visit for you to experience the country for yourselves. Now, how does it feel being a furry in the Philippines? Well, it's not that easy nor that hard because Philippines tend to be open-minded to this kind of fandom. We have tons of fandoms like anime, Star Wars, and even Marvel Comics. But we do have our limits in regards to this kind of fandom because if you do wear your fursuit on public or cosplay, everyone will be weirded out. That's because Filipinos tend to become conservative in regards to these things. Like, if we see something new that wasn't explained to us from the start or we don't have much knowledge to it, we tend to back away from it. However, the good thing about this is that if Filipinos started to learn about the fandom and its culture, we start to accept the fandom itself to our country and slowly just be happy seeing those kind of hobbies. Because being a conservative country is not that bad because we learn how to preserve our cultures and the teachings of our ancestors way back. And it kind of feels good that we still have our traditions and our beliefs up until now. Next is really my favorite is that the creativity of Filipinos. It doesn't apply only to furries because different countries has their own style on how they present their countries through their inventions. Philippines has the jeepney. As you recall, jeepneys are usually just a short buggy that people use during the war. And Filipinos just invented it to be a public transport vehicle, make it a bit longer so that everyone can ride it, which is really cool because jeepney doesn't tend to one design. Many other Filipinos tend to add air conditioning, add neon lights, or even design the jeepneys themselves to make it look like a car. This goes the same for tricycle. Tricycle is usually just a motorcycle with a wagon on the side, but Filipinos love to invent and enhance things that they already know. So we have a tricycle with air conditioning now, and even it looks like a sports car, if you will. So with that in mind, Filipinos in the furry, Filipinos in the furry fandom is one of the best things because we can draw different art styles and invent our own art styles as well. If you can see, there is anime styles, cartoon styles, and even mixing them up to make it look so unique. We also have animators and also trying to learn more from other styles from different furries around the country. And that also help us innovate different kinds of personas and different kinds of fursuits as well, which is really great for the Philippine furries. And we also tend to invent some games like D&D and scenarios and how to play the game on our own special way. And yeah, that's what I'm really proud of the community in the Philippines. Next, and one thing that may be weird to everyone is that Filipinos tend to be happy all the time. Even furries, we're not we're not kind of weird, but we are happy because whenever there is a pandemic or tragedy that happened to the country, we just try to help everyone. We did our best to stop it. Once we able to beat the struggle or be able to get out of that situation, we become happy for it. It's like an achievement for every Filipinos. Like we're able to withstand this kind of tragedy. We won, so we just smile at it. Furries, in case we do have a lot of haters since being like this, but rest assured, this is also one trait that I want to share to everyone, that even there are people who's hating on you, you don't have to dwell on it forever. Just take the things that is valuable. If not, just leave it. Just say, okay, we understand, and just smile. That is one of the best traits that every Filipino has. Once we overcome the challenge, we laugh at it and just smile. Be happy for what you have attained, that you've beaten the challenge itself. And lastly, conventions. There are tons of conventions in the Philippines. Like, first off, anime conventions always happen twice a month, and even game cons happens twice a month. But those range differs from the time the organizer set the conventions, and it's really fun to go and visit those conventions time to time. And no one will judge you from wearing a fursuit and even trying to draw furry arts. It's just how it is and how open-minded the convention is. What makes me sad about it, even with a lot of conventions in the abundancy, we actually don't have that much conventions for furries. We do have one which is from 2018, and it was great. And the sad thing is that whenever we go to the conventions, like other than furries, anime con, comic con, or even toy con, people look at us like we're from an anime, a cartoon show, or just straight out of a comic. So it's hard to explain to everyone that we're not from them, but we are like our animal selves or our persona. It's kind of hard to explain since Philippines already been established with anime and other fandoms. It's kind of hard to actually express yourself as a furry character. And there are times that other people will mistake you for a character from the show they watch. Don't be angry. It's just that Filipinos doesn't even know what a furry is from the start. And we are building our reputation so that we'll be known as a furry, not as a character from another show. And hopefully we will be able to express to them that being a furry is not that bad, or we showing our humanity or loving another character. It's just like expressing ourselves as animals, and that's who we are. And to wrap this video up, I would like to show you guys that these are the artists that we actually have in the Philippines, and hopefully you guys supported them. As you've seen in the video earlier, they were working hard on each piece, and if you support them, that's a really good contribution. And share the word that there are other artists in the Philippines as well. Now, for furries who live in the Philippines, and for furries who wanted to live in the Philippines, that is how it feels being here. It's just based on my opinion, so if you guys have your own opinion about the furry fandom in the Philippines, just write a comment below and tell me your stories and how you feel like being a furry here. And I'll go ahead and read all of them as well. It would be nice to read some stories once in a while. And that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. This is Harakuma, and see you next time. Goodbye.